Derrick Rose was one of the NBA's brightest stars. He went to the basket late in the Chicago Bulls' win in their opening playoff game versus the Philadelphia 76ers in April 2012. A year separated from winning MVP, Rose was repeatedly the best player on the team that matched for the NBA's best record. That all dramatically changed when Rose went down because of a torn left ACL. This particular injury would sideline him the entire 2012-13 season. Another knee injury happened, and while Rose was subsequently able to return, he has never been the same player. He wasn't even able to merely stay healthy for entire seasons. Frustration with those injuries even made Rose walk away from the Cleveland Cavaliers. As Rose reconsiders his future, it's worth imagining what might have been had if Rose stayed healthy. Welcome to B-Ball TV YouTube channel. What if Derrick Rose didn't tear his ACL? Today, we're going to present you with surprisingly detailed analytics to cover our point of view. Make sure to watch till the end, because you will be amazed at how brilliant Derrick Rose could have been. What Rose accomplished before the injury. Rose was a massive star, producing highlights on a nightly basis with his explosive speed and leaping ability. Still, calling him the defending MVP at the time of his injury might exaggerate how effective he really was when healthy. Picking Rose over Dwight Howard or LeBron James, while questionable at the time, hasn't aged well. Rose's candidacy undoubtedly benefited from James' contrast, immensely unpopular during his first season with the Miami Heat. Based on homegrown talent, Rose's Bulls were considered the desirable alternative to the Heat's Big Three. Value statistics suppose Rose was not the best player in the league in 2010-11. He ended up fourth in our wins above replacement player metric with 16.6, far behind James with 21.2 and Howard with 20.5. However, we should be careful not to overcorrect when it comes to Rose's value. We're still talking about one of the 10 best players in the league at age 22 at worst. The following season, when Rose dropped 27 games because of his multiple minor injuries, he took a step backward. Despite the time he blew, Rose rated worth 7.6 wins over replacement WARP, a pace of 12.8 over a full season. Development of similar players. So how might Rose's career have improved without the injury? We present you with a Shuna projection. The system similarity scores are ideally suited to answering our question. Here are the 10 players rated most close to Rose since 1990 within 6 months of the same age he was on the 2011-12 regular season. While not all of the players were as highly valued as Rose, everyone was an all-star, as was Rose for 3 following seasons before his ACL injury. As high-scoring guards, these players should give us a good set of comparables to project Rose's improvement. A handful of them are still in their primes, meaning we don't precisely know how their story will go. Let's take out the 4 players from this list since 2013-14 and concentrate on 8 comps for Rose. These 8 players got 14.0 WARP at the same age Rose was before his ACL injury. Lightly better than his 2011-12 performance prorated to a full season, but the same to what Rose averaged over 2010-11 and 2011-12. That mostly held constant over the next 6 seasons. The chart plots each individual's value by age in gray, with the average of all of them in black. Considering these players were so valuable at age 22, it's surprising they didn't collectively progress up through age 27, the usual peak for players. But looking at them individually helps explain this. There are infinite possible career paths. Most of the players, like Rose, chose one of the 2 directions. The first direction was developing into players as valuable as Rose was seen during his MVP campaign. The second one was peaking early and going on their way out of the league by the same age as Rose is now. The Hall of Fame path. The Rose Group, 4 players, continued their growth into surefire Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Famers. Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, Dwayne Wade, and Russell Westbrook. It's apparently not coincidental that 2 of these 4 players were shooting guards. They are supported by superior size, helping them be more durable and capable of contributing after losing some speed. Still, it's Westbrook who is the most exciting comparison for Rose's career. Apart from Rose's injuries during 2011-12, their WARP scores through the first 4 seasons of their careers were remarkably similar. Simultaneously, the connection between their advanced statistics seemed to make the case that Westbrook was underrated. After Westbrook, who has developed into the reigning MVP and one of the league's most decorated players, the comparison serves as proof of Rose's former potential. The other 4 players all saw their most tremendous success early in their careers, to different degrees. Gilbert Arenas, like Rose, suffered knee injuries that led to his decline. He underwent microfractured knee surgery at only 25 and was never the same after that. While Steve Francis never had the same kind of serious knee injury, tendinitis robbed his athleticism, making him so productive early in his career. Based on the timetable of the graphic, Stephon Marbury and Darren Williams aren't belonging here. They remain more helpful during their age 27 seasons than Iverson, who bounced back after that. But that was Marbury's last great season. He got 8.6 WARP the rest of his career before washing out of the NBA to China at age 32. Williams endured a bit longer but left the All-Star club by age 29 and is now out of the league. The cautionary examples suggest that continued dominance was not a lock, though even a prime like the ones Marbury and Williams enjoyed probably would have been enough to make Rose a Hall of Famer. As it is, he's likely to become the first MVP in NBA history not elected to the Hall. Rose's ACL tear and subsequent knee injuries prevented him from fulfilling his potential. They stopped us from seeing which path his career would have taken. That's what was lost when Rose's career changed dramatically in April 2012. We would like to finish our analytics with the statements of CSN Chicago Bulls contributor Kevin Anderson. Let's get straight to the clue. Yes, the Bulls would have won lots of championships if Rose had never injured his ACL that April evening. Let's begin with that 2012 playoff run that was cut short. The Bulls experienced 50-16 in a lockout-shortened 66-game season, and they won nearly 76% of their games. That's a total of 62 wins in a full-length season. The Bulls bounced back from getting fired by the Heat in the East Finals the season prior. The Bulls were both a better offensive and defensive team than Miami in the 2011-12 season. They would have kicked them from the playoffs and the Thunder in the finals. Plus, the Bulls had just drafted Jimmy Butler in 2011. Remember all the haters saying Butler would never win a title being the best player on a team? Rose would have been the GOAT he was destined to be. Don't give me the personality conflict BS. They both just fancied to win. Rose would never have to bother about recruiting because an MVP winning rings doesn't need to make phone calls. Tom Thibodeau in the front office would have gotten along, and red confetti would have flowed down Michigan Avenue. Okay, Timbs and the FO still would have fought. A healthy Rose would never change that. What do you think? Could Derrick Rose enter the GOAT League without the unlucky 2012 trauma? And how do you like our video? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss an upload, and you can enjoy the excellent content we send your way.